Hello everyone and welcome to the 7th ever episode of Saturn's Rants. It's been a minute. I wish I didn't have to say that every time, but procrastination's a pain. I swear I've said that at the beginning of every episode, but that trend continues. Something cool that I'd like to mention before I actually begin here. I actually have a big overlay in VR over here that is my OBS, which is my recording system. So instead of having to go over to my laptop and manage everything from there, I can actually now do everything all within VR. So I don't actually have to worry with all that anymore, which is really nice for me. Like, I don't have to go all the way to my computer, press start recording, go back to where I'm sitting down, and everything. It is extremely convenient. Uh, so that's nice. But for today's episode, I'm mostly going to be talking about how my life's been for like the last 2-3 months since I made the last one. The one about me coming out as a furry and a romantic asexual. Well, and agender. A lot has happened since then, because that was, like, what would that be, July? And if you can't tell by the spooky music and the more spooky kind of vibes that I've got going on here, it's October. Which, speaking of the spooky vibes, this world is called, I think it's Chill Halloween. Let me just double check that real quick. It's called Cozy Halloween. It's made by Mel. And this avatar is called Willow by Sponge. It's a Patreon-only avatar, if I'm remembering that right. But it's very nice. I do like it a lot. Definitely worth the, like, $5-6 a month. Plus their other avatars that they make. But, it has been quite a while. Oh. It's bright now. You can see me properly. Yeah, VR chat's camera now has like saturation. And what I was meaning to do is this actually. Let's get the flying back on. Reread just a little bit. There we go. Hi. That's a lot better of a view. But so a lot has happened since the last time I made an episode, and let's just get the main thing out of the way. College. College is the main reason why it's been so, other than procrastination, it's the main reason why I haven't made one of these in so long. College is kind of kicking me in, I think it's been a minute by now. I can actually see, yeah, it's been 3 minutes. Yeah, college has been kicking me in the ass. I'll explain that here in a moment. But other than that, life has been going pretty well. I have a new cat. Her name is Smudge. She's great. A lap cat. I haven't had a lap cat in a very long time, so she's been helping me out with my stress and everything. But speaking of that stress, I mentioned college kicking my ass. So I mentioned it in one of the other rant episodes, or at least I think I did. The fact that I am going to college for astrophysics. And obviously, there's two parts of that. Astro and physics. And for physics, you need calculus. Calculus is killing me. I'm getting more used to it now, but somehow, on my first exam, I managed to miss every single multiple choice question, but two. Don't even know how I managed that, but I did manage. Like, in class, everything will make sense, but then as soon as I get to the test, I'm tired and stressed, so all the information that I thought I had a good grasp on seeps out my ears, and I did horribly. My calculus grade currently is at a 32%, and it doesn't help that due to a rise in usage of AI within assignments, they are grading the homework for a lot less points than they would in previous years. So, also, I swear I was here in this world with my friends. This music sounds exactly like Monster House. And I swear if it's not Monster House, it's extremely similar. Like a remix version of the Monster House theme. But that pushed aside. It just got me sidetracked. But an increased use of AI for people's homework assignments has made it to where the grading, the weight for homework, is a lot lower than it would be in previous years. This is how bad it is. The homework for my calculus class is worth a measly 5% of my grade. 5%. That is ridiculously low. Like, that is the lowest, like, I have ever seen for a homework percentage. That means that literally you could go the entire year without a single homework being done and still get a really high grade without doing any of the homework. Which, for someone like me, who is not doing great on the exams, the homework being worth practically nothing means that really the only thing that I'm getting graded for are those exams. Which isn't good. I personally would rather have the homework be a higher worth of my grade, like even 10 or 15%, rather than just 5. 5 is nothing. I've actually had nights where I've been stressed out while working on the homework, and I was just like, it's not going to affect my grade. So I just stopped doing my homework. That is not good. That is not something that should be going on. And yet it is. And I mentioned it's because of AI. My physics teacher actually had some stats about this. Last year, she reported that 70% of her class admitted to using AI for their homework. And of course, all those 70% had like really high grades for their homework, like A's and such. But of course, for exams, they didn't get those same grades. Like, she showed how literally those same people that got like really high grades for the homework, or at least a majority of them, only got like C's or low B's on the exams. Which obviously, if you're doing that good on the homework, there's no way that you're doing that bad on the exams. Like, how badly that affected it. And of course, if the homeworks were worth a higher percentage of the grade, then, well, if people are just able to fake it with AI and do that, then what's the point of having it be worth more of your grade if it's just going to go to waste, right? Because it's like, if they're not actually doing the work and they're getting that grade for free, then why have it be a high percent of the grade? Which I understand. I understand why they only have it as 5% for my calc homework. I understand that. But as someone that has never used AI for homework myself, it is frustrating the fact that a bad grade on an exam, a horribly bad grade on an exam, would bring down my grade so much and have it be to where doing good on homework doesn't matter. Like, of course this is college, not high school, but at least with high school, if I did bad on a test, I could do homework and work on getting my grade up from that, right? A one bad test grade wasn't the end of the world. But here, with calc, it is. It's like the rest of the class doesn't matter. There's only 3 exams, and it seems like those are the only things that matter in the class, because the homework, you can just skip completely and not have any, big issues. Okay, throughout this series, I've never had, any complaining rants. This is the first one. I'm genuinely a bit upset about, how low of a grade worth it is, because it feels like the only way for me to get my grade back up is to, do crunch extremely hard and study so much to get a good exam, grade on the next exams, and even that may not save my grade fully, because I have a 32% in the class. That is hard to get out of. Like, especially with, it, and especially with the homework being worth nothing. Nothing. There's no point in doing the homework other than getting extra practice. That is it. And another thing that I haven't mentioned is how big the homework is. The homework will be like 30, 40 questions each, which it just gets repetitive. And it's frustrating. The homework is worth nothing, and yet the homework is some of the hardest things that the class has to offer other than the exams. Like, there's in-class quizzes that we do sometimes, but those are pretty easy. And it's just... it sucks because it feels like I can't get myself out of the pit that I accidentally made myself. Like, I've gotten the wake-up call, but the wake-up call doesn't matter if I have so little opportunity to get back up out of the pit that I accidentally made, right? So at this point, it just feels like either I'm gonna have to drop out, like get my grade up somehow, some way, which again is just gonna be through good exams for the next couple, but even that'll be like barely. Either that or retake calc, which would just be a pain for me in the future. So I'm hoping I'm able to get like good exam grades like soon. Like this is why if you don't see many uploads from me, this is why. Like, I'm trying to focus on that work and living. Which, speaking of living, currently I'm still living at home, where I've lived for like the last 3-4 years, but I'm actually going to be moving on the dorms in January. Because commuting from 45 minutes away is extremely difficult. Which also means that the job that I've had for the last 2.5, almost 3 years, I'll be quitting in the turn of the new year. Which, honestly, about time! It is about time I move to a different job. I have been... okay, so the job that I have currently is the only job I've ever had. I've never been fired. I never applied anywhere else. I got the job here, and I've been there for 2.5 years. I work at a pizza place currently. I have been working here for 2.5, almost 3 years now, and I am ready to switch to anything else. Like, don't get me wrong, the job has treated me well. It's not difficult for me, really. Like, I had to work earlier today. It's fine. I have work tomorrow. It's fine. I'm just ready to do anything else with my time. And when I'm on dorms, it'll be a lot easier, because right now, with me commuting, I can only work on the weekends, right? Because during the week, I'm going 45 minutes away, and since I'm commuting, I can't come back home until I'm done with all my classes, which I am at college every day for like 12 hours, not 12 hours worth of classes. I have like 2 or 3 hours worth of classes each day. It's just I can't get back home reasonably without using a bunch of gas. So I go there, take care of my first class, which my first class is, depending on the day, is either starting at 10 or 9 a.m. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, my first class starts at 9, and every Tuesday and Thursday, my first class starts at 10. So I can actually explain my schedule fully if I want. So why not? So my class that I was talking about that is on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is a revolutionary class, which may seem a bit strange for me to be in, but it's actually really cool. So what it is it's kind of like a debate class. Like, we have genuine conversations about issues going on in the world, mainly dealing with sexism, homophobia, a bunch of other things. And like, people share their experiences with things like that, and we have like debates and conversations. It's nice because I get to bring my experience to the table with being an LGBTQ family, as I discussed in the last episode, and I get to hear perspectives of people that had different lives to my own, and it's really cool. So I have that those 3 days of the week, starting at 9, ending at 10. So that's a really good class. And then the other class that I have on Monday is my calc, which on Mondays it has a recitation. This every calc class, including recitation, is from 4:40 to 5:35, right? And on every recitation, there's a quiz. I mentioned in-class quizzes earlier. These aren't the quizzes that I'm talking about. These quizzes are actually really hard, and I have not done well on these either. I need to really get my act together, especially on these, because they have been kicking me so hard. But every Monday I have a test or a quiz, which kind of sucks because you go from the weekend to a quiz. Because I have calc from Monday to Thursday, so I have 3 days where I'm not having a calc class, and then I have to take a test at the beginning of the week, which kind of sucks. But so Monday I have a test, quiz thing, whatever you want to call it, and then the rest of the week is just normal calc classes from the same time. And then the class that I mentioned that was on Tuesday and Thursday is my physics class, which I cannot speak. Physics class, which is from 10 o'clock to 11:50. Very nice. I actually like physics a lot, and it's going really well, as opposed to my calc class, which isn't going well at all. I've been enjoying that class a lot. And there's actually 2 other classes that I have yet to mention. On Thursday, it's my most loaded day. It's my only day that I have 3 classes, and from 1 o'clock to 3:50, I have a physics lab, which has been really good. It's been really fun. We've been using Python, the coding platform, which I already had some experience in because during high school I took a college credit engineering class which used Python, so I already had some previous experience with it, and I'm actually doing pretty well in that class. And the final one is on Fridays from 3 o'clock to 3:50. It's a collab learning, so it's just we go, relax, talk to each other, help each other out with homework and stuff, but that's pretty easy. But it may not seem like a lot, but just the content within those classes, like all the classes combined, can be very overwhelming. And that's not including my asynchronous class, which if you don't know what asynchronous means, it basically means online class where there's no like specific meet time. You just get your work and you do it. Class, which is my one astrophysics specific class, which is stars and galaxies. That class has been very interesting to be in. But again, it's not a physical class where I go somewhere. It's just asynchronous. Whenever you get the chance to do your work, just do your work. And that's all the classes that I need to mention. So that's my entire schedule. But I'm pretty much, other than that Friday, which actually every other Friday I'm still at college for 12 hours, this time by choice, because I am going to both a D&D and furry club that my college hosts, which is really cool that it has a furry club. I figured that out on the first day, because they had it wasn't the same furry club, but it was a different furry club. It just had a poster that was like, sexy furry bitches. I don't know why. I don't even know what club that was, but it was some other club. And when I tried to find that one, I couldn't find it, but I found a different furry club, and I joined that. And I'm actually going to a zoo event very soon with them. So that'll be fun. But, so in those days, the furry events actually recently have been on Saturdays, but usually they're on Fridays from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. So on those days, I'm actually choosing to stay later. But that's every other week, so every week, 1 week I can go home at 4 o'clock, and the other week I don't go home until 9 o'clock. Again with like a 40-minute drive, so still a long drive, but that's okay. I don't mind it personally. It's just a lot of time to be there, but once I end up on dorms in January, I will be able to come home in between that time, and that'll be really nice. But of course, I'll have different classes, so I don't know. I don't know how that'll be. We'll I'll figure that out. But I say this every time. I'm gonna plan on recording these every month. I want to. It's just procrastination is what I'm bad at with procrastination. So bad at procrastinating. That's part of the reason for exams. It's because I procrastinate actually studying. And even when I do study, I don't study right because like I'll study in like one big block. It's actually recommended that you do study in like 30-minute periods. Like you study for 30 minutes, take a break, study for another 30. Like you give yourself time to like rest, but like usually I'll just doing it in one big block because I'm stressed out about it. But that's not recommended because you usually won't retain that information. So I don't retain that information, and then I just end up forgetting about it, and it doesn't end up being any good for me, and then it ends up going bad on the actual exam. Like I didn't think I did that bad on the first exam, but I did. Like okay, so each multiple choice question had 5 options, and out of 14, I only got 2 correct. Out of 14 questions, I only got 2 of them right, which is honestly crazy to me. Especially with how confident I felt on some of them, just to be completely wrong. I think I didn't feel confident on like 2 of them, but I was wrong on 2 of them. It was like the opposite. The opposite of how confident I felt was what I actually got, which is kind of crazy to me. Like I saw my test scores and I was like, how did I even manage? Like I don't know how that. Like it's. Hopefully I can pull my act together. It's frustrating. It's extremely frustrating. Again, I wish the homework was actually worth more. It'd be a lot less stressful, because then I could actually see my grade going up after doing homeworks, and it'd be like, yay! My homework is for 5% of my total grade. It is so minuscule. It is practically nothing. You could okay, let's say that you got everything else 100%. You could do none of your homework for calc and get a 95. A mid-ground A for your final score without ever touching any of the homework if you got everything else to be 100%. That is crazy to me. But let's push that aside. Push that aside, not worry about it. And let's talk about something else. Spooky month! It's October. I actually completely missed my birthday for doing something on here. September 17th, well, I just said September. I was about to say of last month, but September. It's almost been a month since my birthday, and I didn't do anything for it. I meant to, but again, procrastination. So that just didn't end up happening. But today, I did upload a couple episodes of my Silksong playthrough. So I was originally gonna edit them, but I just made it to Act 2 of the game. I'm not gonna say anything about the game here. I just made it to Act 2, and I've already been playing for 14 hours, and 14 hours of footage is a lot of footage to edit, so I was just like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to upload the VODs. As of right now, they don't have a proper thumbnail, but over time, I'm going to be doing some art to get them all proper thumbnails. Which, speaking of art, I am currently commissioning a rough sheet of my persona, Saturn. Someone by the name of A Letter A on Discord, which I will eventually be making a post once the rough sheet finishes, and I will make sure to tag them so that way I can give them full credit. But they are currently working on that commission, and it is looking amazing so far. So honestly, soon expect the PFP for this channel to be changing because I love how it's looking so far. They haven't even started coloring yet. And, they sent me a work in progress earlier today, and it is looking beautiful. So I'm planning on changing the BFP to a part of it, which I don't want to spoil right now, but I think you guys will like it. But back to the Silk Song thing. I have, I think, 7 episodes already recorded, with 3 already being up. Actually, no, it would be 8, because I had 7 recorded and 1 that was the VOD, which I did. I decided just to start recording them instead of doing them all on stream, so I can get them done all within my time. Especially since I was going to be fucking editing them. But since I'm not editing them, I may stream it again, or I may not. I don't think I will. But I'm on the Act 2 now, so I'm still continuing the game, playing through the game. But yeah, so that's all going really well. Again, sorry for the lack of uploads recently. It's just been a lot. But we're on to episode 7 now, and per what I said in the test, episode 5 of Saturn's Rants, was a test. I wanted to do one of those every 5, so when episode 10 comes around, we're gonna do another the test episode. And honestly, what I may end up doing to make it up to you guys for my lack of uploads, I think I'm going to record 2 Saturn's Rants this month, which, let's just say tentatively, the next one may be releasing on Halloween. Will that actually happen? I don't know. Or maybe I'll do it to where episode 10 releases on Halloween and I'll get another one done in between then. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. We'll find out. Also, just a small thing. The thumbnail for this episode is going to be somewhere in this world, we'll say. Because obviously right now I'm sitting on the couch. That's not very good for a thumbnail. So somewhere out in this world, somewhere, I'm going to be making the thumbnail. So if you're curious about what the thumbnail is, that's what it is. Somewhere out here. I know where it's going. And I may walk over there at the end of the episode. Because it's actually a pretty cool little spot that does something cool to the world, which I will show. But let's see, is there anything else that I wanted to mention today? So I mentioned college, I mentioned the Saturn ref sheet, I mentioned procrastinating everything to hell, and Silk Song, which is amazing so far, by the way. Christopher Larkin is going so hard on that music. Speaking of music, actually, Baby No Money. He is releasing so much music recently, it's kind of nuts. Oh, and another thing I can mention is the Hell of Boss pilot that released. Actually, I have a lot more I can mention here. Hold on. So, Baby No Money first. He has released so much music recently that I am genuinely starting to lose track of how many songs he's released since my last episode. Like, I was just listening to music and I just completely forgot about NSFW, which is a song that he released. I was listening to it while I was at work, and I just completely forgot about that song. So I was like, "Wait, which song is this?" And his most recent one, called ADD, is one of my favorite, like, of his most recents. I still love 2. 2 is still probably my favorite of his, but ADD is really good, especially the music video. It's amazing. So that's really good. And the other thing that I just said, the new Hello of Boss pilot, which is it's something. Okay, so it does an amazing job of setting up the relationship of all the characters within the first season. That being said, Stolas, holy shit, you horny son of a bitch. I know that's how he was in first season. I know that's how he was in first season. That is absolutely how he was in first season. But seeing that again is, oh my lord. Um, and on that side of things, my mom started watching the show because like my sibling and I have been loving the show for a very long time now, and she was curious, so she started watching it. And she literally had to turn off, like, she turned it off midway through the episode just because of Stolas and Blitz's phone call. She ended up picking it back up later and actually finishing the show, which I'll talk about in a moment. But, like, she was just, like, so caught off guard by, like, she was so caught off guard by it because she was like half paying attention. She was like on her phone and things, and she was literally just like, "Okay, I need to actually like fully watch this, like full attention." And she did. She watched through the entire show, and once she finished, like we were talking about it because like I was asking her how far she was in, like how she was liking it, and the day that she finally finished it, she was bringing me back home from college, and she was like, "Yeah, yeah, I really, I liked it. It's definitely something I'm gonna continue watching, but I have some questions." And I was like, "Oh yeah, go ahead. I've been watching the show for so long. I'll probably be able to answer it." And she was just like, "How did you end up liking this show?" Because I'm aromantic asexual, and of course, with the amount of sex jokes within the show. Also, hope that you didn't think that that was a knock at your door. If you did, that sucks for you. Um, but um, she was like, "You, yeah, there's so many sex jokes. It didn't seem like your kind of humor." And I was like, I don't know. I just find it funny. I just find it funny. Um, but it's just an amazing show, and especially with my favorite character being Stolas, how horny he can be at times. He was like so confused about it, but like she really likes the show. She was a big fan of Fizzarelli. Um, so yeah, like she's enjoying the show, and now I have a show that I can watch with my mom that we both, which is something that like a sibling and I have had for each other for a while, like a show that we can watch together. But I haven't had something like that with my mom other than movies for a very long time. But now I have a show, and season 3 should be coming out sometime next year, which I guess I can mention again more things. Digital Circus. Digital Circus episode 6 came out, I think it was. The Guns episode, holy crap, that was really good. I'm not gonna say too much, just in case you haven't seen it, but Jax went crazy, kind of. Um, really good episode though. Definitely recommend watching it if you haven't yet. Um, and yeah, other than that, I don't think there's too much that I want to talk about today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring you guys to the thing I was talking about. So let me get the camera to not be flying anymore. Hold on. Anchor. There we go. Hello. Hi. Okay. Let's bring you guys on a journey. Yeah, we're going on a road trip. Outside. Outside. We're outside now. Welcome to the great outside. Let me actually get this to not be zoomed in anymore. Actually, we're gonna get that zoomed out, if anything. Hey! So, let's get out here. And I need to remember exactly what's that. Ooh, the lighting of my avatar looks really good here. Oh. My controller batteries are low. Apparently. I lagged a little bit there. Okay. Oh, I see it. Let me turn my camera. So you guys can see it. Out in the distance, that red bit, the red that you just saw, that's where we're going to. So I might actually have my character be in the thumbnail because this actually looks really good. Like out in the lighting like this. Oh, actually. Oh no, I was wrong. Hold on. This is actually what we were going for. This right here. What's that red then? Hold on. No? Maybe it was. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. But so what it is let me flip the camera. It's a tombstone. Oh, there it is. It was just a pair of eyes that flickers in and out. But it reads, "The veil is thin," and if I press on it, look at that. Everything becomes black and white, and you can now see ghosts around the place. Like, and everything gets a lot more spooky. Like, all the music is gone from what it used to sound like. And everything is a lot more eerie. Yeah, like, this is a little secret in the world. That's pretty cool. But since you all are here, I can take pictures, right? No, I can't actually, because this is on the stream mode actually. So since my camera's on the stream mode, it allows my So what you guys are seeing is the perspective of my camera in VR chat, right? So if I move it around, you guys are getting moved around by my hand. Um, right. Which actually I'm realizing has like an eyeball view. Because it has an eyeball view because I have doing extra. Yeah, because this is what more so what it actually looks like. This is like real right here. Yeah. Which actually let me turn off the veilless fin. Oh, it's because of the veilless fin. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Okay. That is really interesting. It wasn't because I was zoomed in. Okay. Alright. But so actually gonna do is if I switch my camera mode, what will actually happen is I'm gonna switch it from stream to local photo. And now there's a camera that you guys have been seeing this entire time. And I can now use my camera to actually take a picture. So you guys are going to see take today's thumbnail. Right? So so the camera can, for anyone who doesn't play VR chat, you can fly the camera around like this. And that's what I was doing earlier. And you've seen it in past episodes where I have accidentally dropped my camera in the past. So the usual format that I have for this is, okay, let's see. The veilless fin, that's reverse. So what I can do is press this here. Yep. And now the veilless fin, you can read it right. And then the usual format that I have for these is about like so. And honestly, this would actually look really good if I actually leave the shot. So what I'm going to do is I have something really cool that I can use called OVR, which allows me to grab myself in space and move myself around. So let me turn off the flying. And there we go. Now I can just move myself around. So what we're going to do is we're going to get myself to be below the ground. So get me completely out of the shot, completely out of the vision. Actually, the veilless fin is disappearing, so you can't actually see the words anymore until I'm up here. Okay, so what we can do is hide myself. There we go, I'm gone. And now, if I time it, bam. And now in post, I'm gonna put Saturn's Rants Episode 7 over here, and then that'll be the thumbnail. That's just the usual process that I do for these things. It's just literally just a picture of the world somewhere, and uh, doing that. So let me put it back on stream mode so I can say my final goodbyes for the night. So now you're seeing it back through the camera. Um, so yeah, just put it back on black and white for why not reasons. And oh yeah, the flying. Hold on, the I can anchor, anchor, reset. There we go. Now it's back through this, and since I had it reversed, put it back to me. Hello. And what in a moment? Oh, I accidentally turned the brightness all the way down. My bad, my bad. But turn this back down and say good night. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Once again, I'm sorry for having this be so delayed. It's just I've had a lot going on. Um, but I want to get everything back up and rolling. In terms of uploads, at least for Saturn's Rants. I keep on wanting to say ST's Rants, and that's what it was originally called back when I was ST Purple Skull. But now that I'm Saturn, it's not that anymore. I keep on wanting to say it. I'll get used to it eventually. But that's all for tonight. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. And of course, since I don't edit these, you are seeing the bit where I'm actually pressing the stop recording, which is in 3, 2, 1.